Hello, third grade artists. Mrs. Gordon here. Hi, happy to see you, friends. Today, we are going to start to create our folk art landscape inspired by the fabulous Miss Heather Galler. We are going to be using lines and shapes, geometric shapes, to create our folk art landscape. And if you remember, folk art is characterized, or you can easily know that you're seeing folk art if you see. Um, it looks like it might look like a beachscape to you or a landscape to you, but the shapes are simplified. So instead of making like a really organic tree shape, it's like an oval and a rectangle underneath. Or instead of uh, having all different sorts of shapes to make a house. It's, kind of simplified to maybe a square or a rectangle and a triangle. And then the colors are usually brighter and there are vibrant designs and patterns in it. So today we're going to be using, and the landscape is simplified also. So using less lines to explain or describe or define what's going on in the landscape. So today you are going to need a pencil, and maybe a marker or a black crayon, something to go over your lines with, and a piece of paper, a thicker piece of paper. Now, if you don't have art paper at home, that's fine. I'm going to be demonstrating this on both like a cut up paper bag, that's what this came from, and also because I'm running short on those, believe it or not, I'm using a lot of paper bags, I'm going to be doing it on a regular piece of paper. So if you have a thicker blank piece of paper, that would work great. I'm going to show this twice today. I'm going to show two different kinds, but in my slides, I have like 4 different ways that you can make landscapes. And they're all going to be using the same steps, the same 4 steps. We're going to fold the paper first. We're going to hold the paper horizontally and then fold it to make a horizon line. We're going to draw a horizon line. It could be straight, could be wavy, could be curved. Those are usually the ones we see for landscapes. And then we're going to add some lines, a few lines, not a lot, to help us understand what's going on in the landscape. Are there fields? Is there a road? Is there a pond? Is it an ocean? We're going to do that. And then we're going to add some geometric shapes to our horizon line to help us know what's going on. So the very first thing you need is a piece of paper. Remember, you can pause the video at any time to go get what you need or to catch up with what we're doing. And then you're going to hold the paper horizontally. That's like a wide, short building. Real quick on the back with a pencil, just go ahead and write your first name and your last name, because hopefully you'll be able to bring this into school to show me. Then step number 1 is to fold the paper. So I'm going to fold the top down to meet the bottom. Make a crease, and then I'm going to open it up. Now that could be my straight horizontal line for horizon line if I want to. So I could just, if I wanted a straight horizon line, I could just go ahead and draw right over that. If I don't want it to be straight, like I think I want it to be curved, I'm just going to mark on both sides where it starts. And I'm going to start another line, maybe a wavy line that begins and ends there. Or for this one, I'm thinking a curved line that starts and stops where I made the marks on the edge of the paper where the fold hit the edge of the paper. Okay, so that was step 2. I just drew my horizon line. Boom, just like that. Now I need some lines to help me understand what's going on underneath my horizon line. So are there fields? Is there a pond down here? Is there a road? So I think I'm going to add a pond, and I'm just going to add a curved line. And then to help me know that it's a pond, I might add some bumpy lines. Now later you're going to go over these lines with a black marker or a crayon. So you want to keep them spread out enough that you're going to be able to do that. Now I think I'm going to add some fields. So starting at because later we're going to fill all these great spaces that we're creating with some patterns. So I'm just going to pick a spot on my horizon line and take a slightly curved line, because it's a hill, down to the bottom of my page. And then I'll do another one. And if I have space for another one on this side, I kind of like the way that looks right like that. And so then I'll do another one over here. Now it's kind of going the other direction, and I have space for another one over here. So there are the fields going down to my pond. Do you see how we've simplified this? Next step, and this is going to be the last step that you're doing today, is you're going to add some geometric shapes on your horizon line to help us know what's going on there. So I might draw a rectangle with a triangle for a house. I might draw those rectangle with the ovals for the trees, or maybe they're evergreen trees, so I do triangles on top of rectangles. I might have a semicircle for a setting sun. So let's see, I think I'm going to do my house first. And I'm going to draw kind of a rectangle shape and a triangle up on top. Not going to add any details to my house yet. And maybe over here I'm going to have one big tree, so I add a little rectangle and an oval on top. And then maybe I have some evergreen trees over here. Maybe at the holiday time people put lights on them. It's nice to think about that. Okay, so there's my house using geometric rectangle and a triangle, my trees with triangles or an oval and rectangles at the bottom. And then over here, I think I'm going to have a setting sun, so I'm just going to add an oval for my setting sun. Oh, and I think I might want to fix that a little. It goes off the edge. All right, now that I have gone over that with pencil, I might then, when I'm done, it's the way I like it, I'm going to go over it with a marker or a black crayon. So I'm going to trace over all of my lines. My curved horizon line. My semicircle, setting sun. And if I go outside the lines a little bit, that's okay. It's going to be easier to erase that pencil line than to try to mark it up several times with my marker. And to cross it off with a marker. Remember, sometimes you really just draw attention to your mistakes when you do that. And here's my house. And I like how it almost looks like my house is casting a shadow. Do you see that? Now, when you're going through the slideshow, you'll see I gave you some ideas on how to do a cityscape or how to do a beachscape. And I think I'll show you the beachscape next. But there are also how-to slides that show you how to do that. Okay, so there's one folk art landscape ready to go. Now let me try another one. Okay, so again, first step is to fold the top down to meet the bottom. Oh, want to stick my name on the back. First name and your last name. Then I'm going to, where I made my marks, or where I folded, where the fold meets the edge of the paper, I'm going to make little marks. And for this one, I think I am just going to go ahead and use that straight fold as my horizon line, because I think I'm going to do a beachscape on this one. So that's going to be where my water meets the sky instead of the land, but I still want to know what's going on underneath that line. So I'm going to add some wavy lines to help me know that it's water. I don't want a ton, like, somewhere 5 to 7 is usually a good idea. Now, these are definitely water lines, but I think I'm going to add kind of a curved line to make this kind of the land. So this is the beach. You're standing on the beach on the sand, looking out at the water. There's where the water hits the sky. So now I'm done. I've done my horizon line and my lines that help me understand what's going on with the land, or in this case, the water. And now I'm going to draw some geometric shapes on my horizon line. Well, what might be out in the ocean that I might see? Maybe a sailboat. So I can start with a trapezoid for the boat, and I can have a triangle for one sail, and another triangle for another sail, and maybe up here a little flag. Okay, well that's pretty good. Remember, I want to keep it geometric shapes, and so I think I'll add a sunset, a sailboat sailing off into a sunset. And maybe I want the sunset here, or maybe I want it bigger, like attached to, I think I want it bigger, like attached to the really big sunset. So this is a semicircle, but I actually just drew a line. So there you have it, friends. How to draw a folk art landscape inspired by Miss Heather Galler. Remember, in the upcoming slides, after this slide, I'm going to show you a cityscape also, and another kind of landscape if you want. But I can't wait to see what you do for yours, and happy art making, friends.